Hey, what's up YouTube? Balder here, and I'm playing Kerbal Space Program. What is Kerbal Space Program? Well, pretty much what you do is that you build rockets and shoot them off into space. It's fairly realistic, so with that said, if you're not a rocket scientist, you're going to be failing a lot. I am not a rocket scientist. So, obviously your objective is to build a spaceship and send these tiny green men into space. Before these tiny green men could travel the galaxy and perform weird sex experiments with our rectums, they had to get into space in the first place. So I'm guessing this is where their journey starts. Anyway, we're going to start a game, and I'll show you pretty much what it's all about. I'm going to start a new game. Defaults? I don't think so. I think I am going to be a default with a capital D. Yeah, that's right. Fear the mighty default. Anyway, I'm going to do sandbox, and then I am going to change my flag. What's a cool one? Actually, that looks pretty kick-ass. Why not? Let's start. Thanks, I've got it. Alright, so, for the record, before I go on any further, yes, I am well aware that recently there was a rocket that blew up while trying to get into orbit. This isn't some weird timing issue. It wasn't deliberate, is what I'm trying to say. I actually tried recording this the night before the accident, and obviously, I had a problem where I didn't record the sound. That really pissed me off, so I had to start everything all over again, which was kind of unfortunate, but what can I say? At the very least, I can start over again. But yes, this has nothing to do with the accident that happened recently. That's not why I'm playing this. That's just very odd timing, if you ask me. Anyway, we're gonna put a satellite into space first. This is the Stay Putnik. A little bit of a play on words on the Sputnik, but that's kinda obvious. And we're gonna make a very basic satellite. I mean, really super basic. Like, ridiculously, I don't even know why I'm trying basic. Let's take a look. We're gonna put a small battery on here, and we're gonna put it here because I have plans for the other side. I'm just gonna have this act as a tiny counterbalance. What else do we need with a satellite? We definitely need solar panels, and that will not do. I believe these will do. Let's make them a little symmetrical as well. There we go. So we now have our power supply. Now we have to do all the sciencey stuff. So go to science. What's a good thing to put on here? Surface scanning module. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'm gonna change the symmetry back to this. And then I'm going to add a small little communicator as well. There we go. That's our satellite. Now it is time to get the satellite in orbit. Well, we'll have to get a fuel tank first off. First and foremost, I should say. Well, wait for that a little bit. First we need a decoupler. No, that's way too big. There we go. Decouplers are pretty much for separating the stages. Pretty simple, pretty basic. But we're just going to have this thing, and then we're going to have a... what are we going to have? A small engine. Smaller than this engine, just to give you a little bit of a comparison. Alright, so we got that. Now we gotta go through that. Now we're gonna go into the next stage, which is going to be this, followed by this, and then to top it off we'll have the bigger engines, like so. Nice. Now we're going to add another decoupler. This is going to be a 3-stage rocket. 4-stage. Let's see, is it 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 4-stage. Alright, so we have one more thing to add. And this I absolutely love. These tri-stack decouplers. Oh, good God. Alright. So we're going to be using solid fuel engines to power these things. They are way more powerful, but you cannot control the thrust. So that's their little disadvantage. Oh well. Needless to say, I like it already. We will have to put some struts here. Why? Because otherwise these things will wobble and then they will disconnect and we will have a bad time. We don't want to have a bad time. Or we do. It is Kerbal Space Program after all. What's the fun in this game if you can't have a massive failure? Alright, so command and control, aerodynamics, there we go. We want winglets. There we go. We're gonna put winglets on here, these engines as well. And then we're going to put quad winglets on here, like almost like a Sidewinder missile. That's probably the best way to describe it. There we go. Looks like a proper missile, if you ask me. Alright, now to name this spacecraft. I'm going to call this the Aegir. And if you're wondering, yes, this is going to be a running gag. Just a few Norse figures is all. Alright, saved. Let's launch this bitch. Alright, we are good to go. Gonna double check the controls. Good. I'm going to engage the SAS. SAS, whatever you want to call it. Alright. In 3, 2, 1. Let's start this thing. Alright, so obviously going off to a really good start. What we're going to try to do is get this thing into orbit. If you're wondering if I'm going to be very geeky about this game, probably not. Because I'm not really good at this game. I guess I'll give you a little bit of a basics on what I do. And as you can see right now, my rocket is already having issues. Is not good. But either way, let's give it full throttle, and let's tilt it 45 degrees nose up. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Shit. I think my joystick's being a complete dick right now. Alright, no matter. That seems accurate enough. Alright, so I'm gonna want about I'd say about 100,000. Let's see how long this stage lasts. That is a very crappy angle of attack, too. I may have just failed this one. Oh, we'll find out. Granted, we don't really have a bad horizontal lift right now, or a bad horizontal gain, I should say. It's just that we have a terrible angle of attack. This is the direction we're really going. This is the direction we're facing. So hopefully I can change this before the fuel runs out. Otherwise we will have a slight problem. Alright, well, we just ran out of fuel. Alright, so one more. This one's a little bit more fuel efficient, so it might last a little longer. We need to get at least 70,000 feet, which we already got, and now I want to get 100,000 feet. Alright, there we go. And we have plenty of fuel to spare. Nice! Whoa. Seems like we have a problem with aligning ourselves. Oh, come on. This may be a problem. Alright, I don't know why it's being so temperamental right now. Let's get ourselves lined up this way. Don't have any controller plugged in, so I don't know why it's moving voluntarily. Now would be a good time to extend the panels, though. Well, at least let's get into orbit. That's all we need, right? Don't know why it's perpetually spinning like this. Just gonna go back to the apoapsis again. And try again. Seems like I can only control this when thrust is being applied. Oh, I know why. It's because I didn't have a stabilizer. I'm an idiot. Oh well. Needless to say, lesson learned. That's definitely not where I want to go. Where I want to go is here. Whatever. It's close enough. Alright, satellite has been launched. There we go. Successful, kind of. Yeah, nice satellite orbiting Earth, or in this case, Kerbin. I will call that a success. Just look at this game. It is satisfying on a Dark Souls level. And what I mean by that is that you will fail again and again and again and again and again. And I'm not good at this. Trust me, I am not good at this game. But at least I can get into orbit. So that's all I'm going to say. So, satellites are interesting. Yay, whoop-dee-doo. Let's go to the Space Center, though. And is it, nighttime? I think so. We'll change that. Right. Not daytime, but morning. There we go. Alright, so I like this rocket design. This rocket design works, so I think I'm going to keep it. Well, I think I'm going to keep this part. So, first thing I'm going to do is that I am going to add this. And where is that thing? Ah, there we go. I have plans for that. But we do need to do a few things. For one, we are going to add a battery to this. A battery bank. Which is quite nice. Secondly, we're going to be adding some parachutes. Or drag chutes, whatever you want to call them. Chutes. Alright, there we go. Last thing we need is a heat shield. Because not only are we going to be getting into space, we're going to go back to Earth. Because as much as you like space, you're not going to like it as much if you're frequently stuck in orbit. So, I'm trying to see where the heat shields are. Definitely not that. Definitely not that, but we will go... Actually, hang on. We are going to go back to this in a little while. But I need to get myself a heat shield. I could get a quad adapter. God, that would be just ridiculous. I'll find it eventually. Hang on, guys. Definitely don't need that. I'll find it eventually. under aerodynamics? Yes. Alright, sorry about that. Now all we need is a decoupler for this. Attach this here. And then attach this here. There we go. Alright, so stage is good. Then separates, then rocket. Nah, I think I'm gonna fix these two. And oh boy, I do not want separation when that happens. No, good God, that would be bad. Okay, so it looks like the staging is good, and I'm gonna name this the Sutor. I think that's how you name it. Yes. I'm going all out Norse mythology on this. Hey, if we can have Apollo, then why can't we have Viking stuff? And besides, wasn't it of the Viking 1 and 2 probes to be the first things to go to Mars? I'm pretty sure it is. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. Instead of having an exterior view, we're going to be watching everything from the inside, which is nice. So I'm going to engage the SAS, and oh look, Trek IR support. By the way, the cockpit in this is absolutely incredible. Anyway, time to get going. Seems like we're doing good. We seem to be nice in the atmosphere. Still, but we are picking up quite a bit of speed. Now things are getting a little bit wobbly, because this is a very unstable rocket design, but who cares? Well, probably the guy piloting this, but I don't care. Alright. So I am, once again, going to move it to 45 degrees nose up. Look at Earth while I am orbiting. There we go. A much more successful launch than the satellite. As you can see, the satellite is still in orbit, the Aegir. It's kind of interesting because isn't Surtur the god that's going to destroy the world when Ragnarok comes? The answer is yes, which is kind of funny. Maybe it's not the best thing to name your rocket, but who cares? I certainly don't. Alright, so picking up a really nice speed and a lot of horizontal momentum as well. Yeah, so the thing about this game is that you need to debate whether you want weight or you want... Oh, hang on. Ah, there we go. Anyway, you need to choose between weight and power. See, you can add more rockets, but if you add more rockets, then you're going to be heavier, and it's going to be harder for you to get off the ground. So the whole motto of, at first you don't succeed, add more rockets, isn't always exactly true. So that's something to keep in mind. Definitely with this game encourages you to add more rockets and go insane, especially in sandbox mode, but yeah, for the most part, I have to say that you definitely want to be a little bit more cautious. I mean, rocket science is difficult for a reason. But what we need to do is that we need to get into an orbit. So I'm going to wait until this little angle of attack indicator is fairly close to my true heading indicator, or my indicated heading indicator, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. And once we get into orbit, we'll stay in orbit. Orbiting is pretty much nothing more than perpetually falling, but you're also moving horizontally at such a fast speed that you're outrunning the Earth as you fall. A little bit of a fact if you didn't know that. Almost there. I think now's a good time. Well, this thing is actually wasting a lot more fuel than I thought it would. Doesn't matter. Oh crap. Did not want to do that, but no, it doesn't really matter that much, does it? We just need to get into an orbit. Alright, so that's going to be a very elongated orbit, but oh well. I don't mind things that are a little bit more elliptical than they should be. I'm not too picky or anal about it. I just have a rocket that works, and that's all that matters. And we're going to have it orbit the Earth. And I have to admit, the people who made this game really outdid themselves. It's one of a few Unity games that I'll say I absolutely support. It is kick-ass, it is wonderful, and as much as I like flight simulators, I also like spaceship simulators as well. I'm a total sci-fi nerd, and I am proud of it. Still, it is pretty fun. Let's see, what else can I do? While I'm out here, I might as well do an evac. Let go. That's right. Let's get your RCA going as well. Okay, this is where the game gets pretty cool as well. I do like doing these EVAs. I always want to call them evacs, but I'm pretty sure the acronym stands for something completely different. But oh, hey. I can go ahead and touch the engine. Now I have testicular cancer. But yeah, this is a ship. Those are the fins. That would be the decoupler. No, that'd be the SAS, the decoupler, the heat shield, and the battery. Then the parachutes as well. Don't want to deploy those. Probably shouldn't have even clicked on them. Who knows what that could have done. Probably nothing, but, you know, better safe than sorry. Oh well. I've kind of gotten used to doing the EVAs. Alright, now I'm just going to board this. Going to do one more little orbit, and then we are going to head back to Earth. Which must be awesome. I envy anybody who becomes an astronaut. Even though they have to spend, like, what is it, 6 months at the International Space Station because screw you. Yeah, that part I probably wouldn't like, but honestly, I wouldn't complain with anything else. Alright, so obviously, let's do a retrograde burn, and let's not go overboard. Alright. Alright, there we go. Now that that has happened, we no longer need this. Goodbye, rocket. You served me well. Now it's just gonna burn up and get destroyed by the atmosphere. Which is fine by me. It would be pretty fun if TACView were to support Kerbal Space Program. In fact, maybe it does. That would be pretty cool. TACView, if you guys are watching, I think that would be a very good idea. Oh well. Back to the cockpit. Alright, now we're in the atmosphere. Here's the thing about the atmosphere. We want to stay on this retrograde angle of attack. The reason being is because the heat shield is right behind us, and that's the thing that's going to be spearheading all the heat. Now, the reason why this thing is staying so stable as it is because of the SAS. If I were to run out of battery, which I won't, or I hopefully won't, then I will die. I will tumble all the way to Earth, and then I will explode. I will pretty much become the Columbia, and I don't want that. Alright, so we're leaving the exosphere, going into, I think it's the thermosphere. And I think with the atmosphere, these are pretty much the 5 types of atmospheres that you have, same on Earth. So we'd be entering the thermosphere, then the mesosphere. I'm guessing in the mesosphere, that's when we're going to start seeing the fireworks. But we are still accelerating a little bit, so we obviously haven't reached terminal velocity yet. But terminal velocity is going to be slowing us down. Vertical speed is pretty good. I do like these instruments because it seems like they really did their homework on what they actually look like. So the radar altimeter looks pretty good. I love the little old-fashioned altimeter. At least I can tell you that I'm 50,000 meters above the Earth, above sea level. So it's definitely readable. Oh, starting to burn. In fact, while we are doing this, I think I'd like my last view to be of that of Earth. It looks very peaceful, don't you think? Alright, we're still accelerating though. So we have quite a ways to go before we stop. Wow. So yeah. Obviously you can tell that things are getting pretty hot right now. I might end up hitting the ocean, and honestly that doesn't matter that much. We're starting to slow down now. We're in the mesosphere, getting closer to the stratosphere as well, so I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to stop burning. It's been a while since I played this, so I can't exactly tell you. By the way, I should mention staging is quite important because this was at the point when my parachute deployed and got burned up by the re-entry. That really pissed me off. Anyway, it's still burning in the stratosphere. Looks like the G-forces are pretty good. I think. Yeah, everything seems to be good. Wait, hold on a second. This is different from that. Which one do I believe? What kind of horsecrap is that? I don't know. It's time for me to disable the SAS. And we're going to wait until this radar altimeter is going active, and I think I'm going to activate it at like 500 meters above ground, or sea level, whichever. Oh well. Have to say things have been going pretty well. Alright, so a small problem occurred while I was recording. Fraps decided to crap out on me on the very last minute, which kinda sucks. But if you want to know, the landing was successful. I splashed down in the water and everyone is fine. But, you know, this is Kerbal Space Program. That's kind of boring. I bet you want something a little bit more disastrous. So, with that said, I think I'm going to show you that little incident I had with the parachute. Hope you enjoy. And as always, like and favorite this video and subscribe. There are plenty more videos where that came from. See you. Have a nice day.